The episode begins with Akane cooking a meal. When Tashi and his mom try it, they are both amazed at how delicious it tastes. Tashi's mom tells Aqua that he should never let Akane go, which makes her really happy. However, Aqua says he isn't hungry and doesn't want to eat. Akane tries to insist, but Aqua decides to eat by himself. In her mind, Akane thinks, "Just like you helped me, I'll help you too." After dinner, Akane finds out that Aqua used to work as an assistant but never chose a clear path in life. Tashi explains that Aqua could have been much further in his career if he had made a decision earlier. Akane is curious about Aqua's acting from when he was younger, but Tashi stays quiet about it. Finally, Aqua agrees to let Akane watch his old videos, but warns her not to follow him around. As Akane watches, she comments that Aqua's acting is good, but it seems like he planned everything out too much and lacks emotion. Tashi explains that Aqua has always struggled to show emotions, even when acting. He also had panic attacks when performing as a child. Despite being very smart, Aqua still feels like he doesn't have any real talent. Akane then asks Aqua why he started doing stage plays. Aqua doesn't answer clearly, so Akane guesses that maybe he wanted money, fame, or to be someone special. Aqua says something mysterious, telling Akane that he wants to become a top star to kill someone and escape from it. Akane jokingly responds, "Let's kill them together," which surprises Aqua. Akane then assures him that she will accept him no matter what, even if it means pretending to be his girlfriend for business reasons. Aqua calls her crazy, but Akane insists that she just wants his help with acting. She doesn't want to lose to other actresses and needs his support to succeed. If she fails, she might feel crushed. Aqua asks if he has to take responsibility, and they decide to talk to Tashi about it. After reading the script, Tashi agrees to help and arranges a rehearsal for the next day. Meanwhile, Melt feels down about his poor performance. While sulking, he notices Ruby and Minami arriving to meet Aqua. Melt informs them that Aqua has already left with Akane since rehearsals are done. Ruby becomes concerned because Aqua has been coming home late, even though his practices finish early. Minami jokes that Aqua might be spending time with a girlfriend, which makes Ruby uneasy. Still, she brushes it off, trusting that her brother wouldn't do anything foolish. Ruby excuses herself to use the restroom. Meanwhile, an actor named Kashida approaches Minami and tries to strike up a conversation. He claims to have connections with her agency, Cannon Fire, and suggests they exchange contacts. Minami feels uncomfortable, but before things escalate, Melt intervenes. He tells Kashida there's an emergency meeting they need to attend. Frustrated, Kashida leaves, only to find out Melt made it up to get him to stop bothering Minami. Melt explains to Minami that as Aqua's sister's friend, she should be careful about her image. Kashida, overhearing this, mocks Melt, saying he would have listened if someone talented like Hakawa had spoken, but Melt's lack of skill makes him a joke. Hurt, Melt bursts into tears after Kashida leaves, knowing his acting isn't great. Later, Ruby excitedly tells Cho and Kana that she got Kashida's contact information. Kana, unimpressed, warns Ruby about Kashida being a playboy. Even Cho agrees he's a creep. Kana takes Ruby's phone and blocks Kashida to protect her. The next day at rehearsal, Kana notices Akane staring at her and assumes Akane must dislike her. To clear the air, Kana reveals to the group that Akane was inspired by her as a child. However, Kana also admits she doesn't like Akane back, feeling their styles clash. Later, Akane confesses to Aqua that Kana frustrates her and wonders if Aqua feels the same. Aqua denies hating Kana, though he recalls disliking her when they first worked together because of her overbearing personality. Kana explains her dislike for Akane to Melt, saying it's about pride. Kana feels Akane's acting style screams, "My way is the only correct way," which Kana finds annoying. Despite this, Kana is determined not to lose to her. Melt wonders who will come out on top, but Hakawa believes Kana has the edge. Kashida again insults Melt's acting, pushing him to ask Kana for help. Meanwhile, Aqua and Akane practice their scenes at Tai's home. On the day of the performance, Abiko feels nervous, worrying she'll be to blame if it fails. Goa reassures her, saying the script is strong, and success depends on the actors. Secretly, Tai fears Aqua might have a mental breakdown, knowing Aqua's trauma could resurface if he becomes too emotional during the performance. Backstage, Kana and Akane exchange a tense challenge, vowing to outshine each other on stage. Aqua, meanwhile, battles memories of his mother but manages to compose himself. The play begins with a narrator recounting a great war from the past. Warriors fought for their ambitions, but no one claimed victory. As a result, 21 swords, said to hold the world's fate, were scattered across the Far East. Melt plays the protagonist, a traveler named Blade, who discovers one of the glowing swords. Before he can claim it, Kana's character, a swordmaster named Tsuruki, appears, warning him to back off if he doesn't want to face her in battle. Blade chooses to fight, prompting Tsuruki to charge at him. He blocks her attack and demands to know more about the allied sword. She explains that the sword grants immense powers to its wielder. If the allied swords recognize someone as the strongest, they gain the ability to conquer an entire nation. Hearing this fuels Blade's ambition, and he declares his desire to become a king. Tsuruki, angered by his arrogance, strikes again, but Blade counters, shattering her sword. Defeated, Tsuruki pleads for her life. Blade orders her to admit she is weaker than him. Reluctantly, she surrenders and vows to follow him as his subordinate. As they journey together, they head toward Shinjuku, where people live in underground dungeons. Tsuruki informs Blade that if he defeats Kazami, the city's strongest warrior, he will become Shinjuku's ruler. When Blade asks if she also wants to be a king, she replies that she cannot, as her defeat binds her to serve him. She requests to be made a minister when he claims the throne. Upon arriving in Shinjuku, they encounter Kazami, played by Melt. Kazami challenges Blade but is quickly overpowered with a single strike. Stunned by Blade's strength, Kazami surrenders and requests to be made a general in Blade's future kingdom. Kazami then reveals that Shinjuku's people were forced underground by powerful demons from Shibuya. Blade decides their next mission is to defeat these demons. The first act concludes, and the second act begins with Blade's team battling the Shibuya demons. Kazami faces off against a demon named Manmi, played by Kamisha. Watching the fight, Melt feels insecure as he compares himself to Kashida, a more skilled and respected actor. In the past, Raida had praised Kamisha for his immense talent, believing his presence would elevate the cast. However, Raida had doubts about casting Melt, seeing him as just a pretty face with little skill. Keburaji, the director, had defended Melt, describing him as hardworking and deserving of a chance. Melt's backstory reveals that during his school days, his charm made him popular, but his fame was built on shallow expectations. He worked part-time jobs to survive and was once cast in a play purely for his looks. Without any real passion, he simply went along with it. In the present, Melt recalls Kashida's harsh words about his lack of talent. He remembers watching one of his own scenes and feeling disgusted by his performance. He had realized that the more experienced actors had to lower their level to accommodate his lack of skill, ruining the overall production. As Manmi disarms Kazami, the audience remains skeptical of Melt's acting. However, Melt remembers Aqua's advice: focus on the character's key moment and turn the audience's low expectations to his advantage. Aqua suggested starting the scene by appearing weak and then surprising everyone with a dramatic display of strength, like a quiet student shocking everyone with hidden talent. Drawing on this strategy, Kazami regains his sword through an impressive gymnastic move, leaving the audience stunned. Kana suspects Aqua's involvement, but Aqua insists that Melt's performance is the result of his hard work. Even Kashida is surprised, noting how Melt has perfectly captured Kazami's essence from the manga. Melt reflects on his struggles during rehearsals, where he struggled to show emotion. Inspired by Akane's dedication to analyzing other characters, Melt began studying Kazami in depth. He discovered similarities between himself and the character. Both appeared strong on the surface but felt like losers inside. That's the end of this video. Do leave a like and a comment on this video. Please do subscribe to Weebsphere. What do you think about the transformation of Melt? Do let us know at the comment.